All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Mindset Monday. We're so excited to be with you here every single Monday, going over how to improve your mindset. And today's class is about rehearsing success to create your breakout year. So this could not have come at a better time. So we're getting ready to head into halftime, which is a big deal for me and for all of us. So we're gone 6 months, worked as hard as we could for 6 months. We're taking a little break, and then we're going to go super hard to the end of the year. So what we need to do now is, well, so first of all, this coming Thursday, for those of you that did get the John Maxwell program, we are actually not doing a recording or going over recording in that program. I'm going to send out a recording from John Maxwell about the importance of halftime. And something that I actually did live with him, I don't know, long time ago, 20 years ago. And I've done it every year since. It's a July 1st is a big deal to go over what's happened and make those adjustments so that if you, those of you that are into sports, it's unbelievable how many teams that are losing go into halftime, make an adjustment or two, and then win the second half and have victory. So it's super important to just take all the celebrations from the first half, all the challenges maybe you had in the first half of the year, and then work through those changes. And we're going to help you do that on Thursday. So Thursday is a huge call that I'm really looking forward to. But a lot of Thursday, we're going to actually talk about today, because Deb just happens to be talking about how our Thursday call would have ended. It's still going to end that way, but this is going to prepare you for that, so you can start working on it now and get a head jump on Thursday. So, Cheryl, what did you get out of this this recording from Deb this week, and some takeaways for everybody?
Well, let me just tell you that, of course, your energy is important. How important the e-card is that you have for yourself. But I think more than anything, the thing that I personally got out of this week is that you better know where you're going so that you can create the feeling that you are going to have when you get there. Because if you don't have that, then something's going to come up. Something's going to happen. Somebody's going to pass away. Some obstacle is going to get in your way that you will not be able to overcome. And then you're in a tailspin. And, you know, Paul, earlier you and I were talking about this. The end of this year is coming no matter what. So where do you want to be at the end of the year? How do you want to feel? And it's really, like we were saying, it's living your life by design. And just all of those things, I think, once again, have been, you know, kind of driven home for me. And just like, gosh, it is so important. And really making sure that I am clear on where I'm going. And it just, I mean, the whole thing I think was absolutely fantastic, Paul. I just loved it.
It really was, Cheryl. It was, you know, it was, she went off, you know, first of all, we should all do this right now, is figuring out where our energy's at right now. So the whole call was about energy.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I love the different zones, you know, so the like 9 or 10, you're in that yes zone. I mean, that is where we have to be, is in that yes zone. 7 or 8, you know, it's that good zone. Like, you're good, but you're not going to get anywhere there. No one ever gets any place in that 7 to 8 zone. And then there's the average zone, which is the worst place to be. I mean, we're all here. We wouldn't be at Mindset Monday if we all wanted to be average. You know, that's not who we are. We go to events called Escape the Ordinary because we can't stand the ordinary. We want to elevate. We want to be better. And then, yeah, let's put it in there. So you want me to launch the polling? Yes, that'd be cool. So here, look at this. Look how cool Becca is. Polling in progress. Like, we have this cool thing here. Cheryl, I don't know if you can poll on your,
so awesome.
but we're going to need you to Like being a host, I don't get to vote. This is crazy. All right, so we got all the results coming. So you got to put in there where you're at here. Will be a telltale sign of how good we're doing here at the training. But don't worry, whatever you put in now, I promise you by the end of this call, it'll be different.
Yes.
All right, we got a lot of people at 5. So we gotta help people. So we got some 7s, some 8s. Great, awesome. All right, perfect. So let's see, we go share results. Is that what we do? Okay, cool. That was awesome. So it is super important to be aware all the time of where your energy's at. What zone am I in right now? You know, the 3 to 4 zone is a doubt zone. Like I really don't think I can do this. I'm really just doubting my abilities. And that is just a decision you made. That's all it is. You're trying to look back and say, well, I wasn't good at that, or that, so I probably won't be good at this either, which is completely 1,000% false. Your past has nothing to do with your future. What does have to do with your future is what zone you're in right now. And getting into a zone is nothing more than a decision. I'm going to be in the yes zone. And you can move differently, breathe differently, act differently, and get into the yes zone at any moment within seconds. That was a big aha to me, that it doesn't take some kind of training program or 12-week program or something to get involved in to build up to the yes zone. It just get there now. And it's got to be a switch that can go off at any time to get into that yes zone. And it's coming to life, world. I'm doing a ton of research and looking for different articles written out there about this concept of identity. You know, who am I? Who are we? You know, and you have got to take this super seriously and understand the things that make you up. You know, so just like saying, I love this life. I love my life. Like saying things like that may not be a view you have right now, but you have to adopt that. You have to adopt that view. Or I love who I am. You know, Cheryl, just speak on that a little bit, because I know there was times in your life, Cheryl, you didn't love who you were or love this life. And now you can see that putting that vibe out and having that identity of someone that loves life, loves people, loves who I am, makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, you know, it really does. It is what it's all about. And here's the interesting thing about this is it's amazing how long it takes you to, let's say if you're in the fear zone or the doubt zone, how long it can take you to get into the yes zone is literally less than a second, right? You just have to know how to do that. First, you have to be aware that you're even in the fear or doubt zone. So it's having that awareness. I know we've talked about that, but it's then really conditioning your mind. And Deb talked about this, about just literally having the tools that it takes, the tools that she gives us, the tools that we talk about to go from 1 to 2, or the fear or doubt zone, up to that yes zone. And, you know, we've got the cookie jar. We've got all sorts of different things that we can use to do that. So the tools that we have. And Paul, I love this. I have this app, and I'm going to have to find it because I don't know exactly what it's called right now. But like every hour, it sends me a positive affirmation. And I love it because it's like you don't even expect it. And then there's like a ding on your phone. I look at it, and it's like, it says all sorts of wonderful things. Like,
you sure that wasn't just a text message from me?
What? It could have been. It could have been. But it is the coolest thing. I mean, I love it. And it just, you know, it just has all sorts of different things. Like, I love what I'm doing with my money. Or that's one of the affirmations, right? It's like all of these different things about I am proud of the person I'm becoming. I am grateful for whatever. You know, it has also, and it just, I love it, Paul. It's really made a big difference. And I love to see those things because all of us have hard days, and all of us go through freaking crap that we have to on a daily, maybe an hourly, maybe a minute basis get into that yes zone, right? All of us go through that, every single one of us. And so just learning how to do that with the tools that we have here, Paul, that's really made a difference for me.
Yeah, now you're telling me in all of us, Cheryl, that you have bad days?
Oh my gosh, I love that, Paul. Listen, I am not even kidding you. And I think that's funny that you said that, because I tell you some of the stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, Cheryl, only you can have those problems. And I'm like, I know. But yes, every single person does. And let me tell you, I'll be real honest here, Paul. For me, I can usually get in that yes zone pretty quick, but I'll tell you, it's been a struggle as of late.
Yeah.
Right? To really just get into that yes zone. Like, I don't want to even freaking be in the yes zone. I want to just, I just, life is taking over and it's a whirlwind. Yeah. And I'm like, no. And it's like, yes, Cheryl, that's what you need to do. That's what you have to do. Right. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, crazy. So, I mean, Paul and I both, I think, completely understand where you're at and what it takes to get into the yes zone. It's not easy, right? But it's the thing that we have to do so that we can make a difference and achieve the goals that we want to achieve. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, well said. And Cheryl, I know like we've taught a lot of lessons over the years, but the one that sticks out to me the most all the time is that worm. Just to witness what you're thinking or feeling right now, and then to interrupt it, having that stop sign. I got my stop sign all the time, like stop, so the point is here that Cheryl and myself, we're not like, just because we are 5-star, I mean, we have no problems anymore. Like we actually get more problems because of that. So it's not like problems are going to go away. But we've just mastered worm. We witness, we interrupt it, we redirect back to the results that we want, and we have some great mantras that keep us in that yes zone all the times, because we know that your vibe is going to attract your tribe. I mean, all the sayings out there that we could tell you that are true, that is the most true statement. Your vibe will attract your tribe. So if you're in a bad vibe, if you just went in there and put in a 5 or a 4 or a 7, that is who you will have on your team. Bottom line. So when Deb was talking about making up these e-cards, which I call them identity cards, but so your identity, who you are, is the vibe you put out. So that's the energy you're putting out, and that's the people you're going to get back on your team. So that's why she calls it an e-card, which stands for energy card. So she clarified that, and I completely get that. How that your identity, who you are, dictates the vibe you put out there. Now, what's super interesting is when you make up these e-cards, these identity cards, you're not just thinking about, I see a lot of people writing them because they're thinking about themselves. But you really want to think about these identity cards as also take your avatar into consideration when writing these things. Because whatever you put on there is what you want your next person that you enroll to put on their card. Because your vibe attracts your tribe. So literally the person reading it, like let's say you post it on your Facebook wall and someone goes, oh my God, that really moved me. Like that's me. You just described me, and that's the person that's going to join you. So you got to, like, I just see a lot of them being very, I don't want to say personal. They should be personal, but you just got to keep in mind whatever you put on there is the person you're going to get. So is that the person you want to get? I love that question. We ask this all the time, Cheryl, is would you have you on your team? I mean, that's a tough question to ask.
That's a great question. Yeah. That's a great question, though. Are you doing the things that you would want that you would want to have people doing on your team? That's really it. That is a great question, because you're attracting those people. You are attracting the people, just like you said. So whatever your vibe is, that's who you're attracting.
Yeah, you put on your identity card, I hate funnels. I hate, enrolling people. Guess who you're going to get? People who hate
Right.
enrolling people. I mean, that's literally what ends up happening. So you really got to watch your wording and what you put on this card and the vibe you're putting out there and the things you're doing during the day, because every single thing you do, every single thing you think, every single feeling you have is going out to the universe and bringing that back to you. That's the scariest thing ever. It's also the greatest thing ever, where, oh my gosh, you mean if I change the way I think, I feel, and I act, I could get different things? Yeah, that's all I got to do. It's just 3 things. So I love these cards. I know a couple people put them into the HCCC Facebook group. We love seeing them. So please keep posting those. If you need to tweak it or want to change it, post a new one, because we're always there. And I've seen a bunch of people, and I'll even private message you and make some suggestions, because this is really a work in progress, as the story is going to be when we get to that in a moment. So let's talk about, Deb moved on to this this funnel concept here. Okay, so when you fail, Cheryl and I always put quotes around when you fail, because honestly, not one person has ever failed in network marketing. They just quit, because you can't fail at this. It isn't like Cheryl's going to call you and say, you can't do this anymore, you're fired, or anything like that. It doesn't work that way. You can keep going until you are successful. So I don't even know what analogy, like in baseball, 3 strikes, you're out. I mean, you got to go back to the bench and sit down. But here you could swing the bat 100,000 times. Doesn't matter how many times you swing, you can't fail. So, right, Cheryl? I mean, there's no such thing as a failure in network marketing.
Absolutely right.
And there isn't. So unless you quit, which people quit all the time. So, and I don't have a problem calling quitters out. I mean, I have no respect for them. I pity them, that they're just I'll live average. I don't care. I'll live below average. Like, that's what you want, your choice. But that's not me. I'll never quit. But when people do quit, they bailed on one of these things. So first of all, I want to get clear on how we're kind of mixing in Thursday and Monday. Could be confusing, but it's not. So Thursday, there's 3 swings that we do here. So we want to condense things and make them super simple. So what do we do here? We enroll, we coach, and we lead. We enroll people, bring in new clients. We coach those clients how to elevate their health score, and we lead people to become car qualified 1-stars. That's all we do. And then just repeat the process like a circle, like you're on a Ferris wheel here, over and over and over again. So we enroll, we coach, we lead. So all this program's about, the whole Monday thing is all about number 1, which is enroll. We're not going to talk about coaching on Mondays. We're not going to talk about leading people to become 1-stars. That's not the topic for Mondays. Mondays, we talk about enroll. That's what the whole how I can sell and recruit process goes. It's about enrolling. Now, when we talk about enrolling here at the coaching program, we're talking about finding new people, doing 15-minute consultations with them, getting to know them, getting them a health evaluation, following up with them, and then doing the paperwork to get them in. All that falls under the umbrella of enrolling. So Deb uses a little bit different words, but no big deal. So she calls it lead generation, which means you're adding names to a list. I use Notion. So I have Notion open. And I have a rule for myself. I have got to add 2 names to my Notion every single day. Just like Tom preaches with contact mapping, you add 2 people to whatever system you're using. I don't care if it's a yellow sheet of paper. 2 names go on that yellow sheet of paper. You have to keep putting people in the funnel. Now you do 2 names. And when I mean every day, I mean what John Maxwell means by every day. Every day. So that's 700 names this year. It doesn't seem like a big deal. Oh, I'm going to skip the 2 names today. No big deal. Those 2 names add up. So after a year, that's 700 names you got on your list. It's unbelievable. You're going to be so successful. It's ridiculous just from doing that one thing every single day. So it's getting that in there, then to nurture them. So if you found them on Facebook or wherever you found them, nurturing means I'm liking things, I'm loving things they're putting, I'm making comments on things they're doing, I'm messaging them, I'm building that relationship with them. So so they get to know, like, and trust me. So that is all that. And my 2 big tricks in the world is compliment. I try to find something good about that person that's genuine, that I can say something good about. Man, I love this. Dude, I love that. Way to go on that. Like something I can compliment them on. Compliments work super well. And then the second thing is find common ground. That's my other secret is, just I got to find something that we have in common and we can start chatting about. And it's game over then, because we both love that topic. I see them making 4 posts on the same kind of topic, and I message them about that topic. We're like best friends instantaneously. So those are the 2 big tricks that I use, and there's a whole lot more, but you can remember those 2 and you'll be golden. And then there's lead qualifications. So is this person really good? So you eventually post in those 3 sentences that we have, and you're looking to see, do you want a free consultation? It's either going to be a yes or no. Super simple. So if they get, say, a yes on 3, then they're qualified. Now we're bringing them in. We're going to meet with them. So we're moving them along here. And then the lead conversion, which means we're taking that lead that we have and actually converting it into a client or a coach or a captain. So that's what converting means. So those are the 4 things that Deb goes through, which would fall all under our category of enroll. That makes sense, everybody? And Cheryl, do you want to add anything to that?
Nope. I just love that it's so clear and it is simple. So I think it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I love clarity and I love simplicity. So, there's a printout that Deb, you can't see it because I have a background. There we go. I just got to put it against myself. So you can print this out. It shows the funnel going in. So we're putting the names in. We're putting the names on the list. That's what the top of the funnel means. We're nurturing them, qualifying them, converting them, and move them out. So at the bottom of the sheet is there's 7 blanks. So 7 different touches. So what could now, if you're on Facebook, I just gave you some things to put in there that are the touches would be. Now, if you're doing this all offline, you can use text messaging or phone calls or send them a postcard or all kinds of things you can do to create touches. If you're not using Facebook per se, but you are online, you could send them to your health evaluation site. So all of us own an info site, which is packed with info. You could invite them to Elevate Your Health Facebook group. Dr. Conaway is in there every single week with Brenda, and they do an amazing class every single Tuesday night that we post on Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday. So that's the best touch you can give somebody, because every single week we're dripping on them new content. And maybe what Dr. Conaway is talking about this week doesn't really interest them or hit a chord inside of them, but maybe what she talks about next week will, or the week after. But they're always going to be seeing that. So putting them in that Facebook group is the best touch you could possibly do, because it's a crock pot that people can simmer in until they're ready to take the next step. And that's what it's all about. It's about putting people in a crock pot. Because you can have the right person at the wrong time. Doesn't mean they're the wrong person. They're the right person, just not at this moment. But that people's lives change like that pretty quick. So there's that. There's the whole picture there. So so Deb has this whole story about driving a bus. We're driving a bus, got a bus load of people. People are going to get off the bus. So we tell you that all the time, that we go back to that deck of cards story that I run my life by. You know, we told you that in a deck of cards, there's 4 2s. So don't call us and say, someone just quit, because we told you there's 2s in a deck of cards. They're losers. They're not going to stick with this. They're a 2 for a reason. And God made it that way. So you can't ask, why are they a 2? You have 2s in your deck. People will quit. 2s will get off the bus. Don't let that bother you. Just say, oh, that is a 2. I need them anyways. What you can't have happen is have aces get off the bus. That we don't allow. Okay, keep the aces on, get rid of the 2s. As a matter of fact, I usually kick 2s off the bus because I don't want 2s. That's not my team I want aces. So,
Hey, Paul.
yeah.
I just wanted to say something about that real quick. I love when she was talking about, okay, look, if you're even thinking about people getting off the bus, because we all know they will get off the bus, but if you're even thinking about them, then the real problem, Paul always tells me the problem is not the problem. But
right.
The real problem, if you are concerned about people getting off the bus, is you do not have enough people getting on. So that to me, that's something that really stood out to me when Deb was talking.
Yeah, that's a great point, Cheryl. You know,
Yeah.
and you know, if 2s are getting off the bus, make sure you're bringing, you know, 5s or 6s back on. You know, let's not go fishing for 2s.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole avatar comes in. You know, we want to get clear on who we're looking for. We're not looking for sick people. We're not looking for 2s.
No.
We're looking for great 9s, 10s, face cards, aces. Those are what you want your team made of. So through all of this, though, you're driving the bus every single day. So Cheryl and I were driving the bus, and, you know, people are getting off, people are coming on. I mean, if Cheryl paid attention to how many people quit every single day, she'd jump off the roof. I mean, there's people who cancel all the time. She got 100,000 people, you know. So it's just, you know, I mean, but there's thousands coming on the bus today too. So, you know, it's just a lot of people coming on and off the bus for Cheryl. She's got a big bus. I mean, she's got like one of those RVs, actually, you know, it's like big bus. So, but she, you know, we all have to manage our emotions through all of that, because you got people going off, you're like, oh, and then you got people coming on, you're like, yeah. So it can be a roller coaster. You know, if this industry would be, you know, a good analogy for this industry is a roller coaster. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs, but you got to manage your energy on that and be like, doesn't matter what bad things happen, if I'm going to stay in the yes zone. And that is the number one thing to make your goal, is to stay in that yes zone. Now, how in the world do you do that? How do you stay in the yes zone all the time? Super simple. So you have to write this journal. And this is the exercise we were going to give you on Thursday anyways. But when Cheryl and I, we did a New Year's Eve call for the Daily Dose back on December 31st. And on that call, we gave everybody in the company a specific exercise, which was to take out a piece of paper. And at the top of the piece of paper, put the date 7/1/21. The most significant date in the world to you right now. And you have got to describe your life on that day. Write a journal that's dated that day. Man, what a start to 2021. Unbelievable. I cannot believe the explosion my business has had in this first 6 months. And you just went on and wrote this story about how amazing you feel on July 1st. Now, the funny thing is that July 1st is in a couple of days. So those of you that did that and read it every day and recorded it, that's what I did. I recorded it, I have it on my phone, I play it, and I listen to it all the time. How my life is going to be on July 1st. And it is freaky. It will freak you out. And people that have done that and come on here and say the same thing I'm saying right now. It freaks you out how many of those things happen, because it's that vibe that's out there and it all comes back to you. But it's when you're locked in to your the result that you want, whether it be one, in the result, we always talk about rank. We're hitting that 1-star, 2-star, 5-star, whatever that is for you, that next tree you're knocking down. So when you can get on the vibrational level of being that 1-star already and talking about it and describing how you feel inside for knocking that tree down by July 1st, and you hold that thought, that emotion in your body for an extended period of time and keep cultivating that every single day, amazing things happen. Like all those things that you wrote down will absolutely happen. And Cheryl, I know you're in and out of a good zone, but if you could comment on that, just the stuff you put out is the stuff you get back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. Awesome. Yes. Super important. And I have to keep going back to this whole whirlwind of life because you guys, I know sometimes, can you still hear me, Paul?
Yeah. I was
Okay.
just laughing.
But, well,
let's go back to this whirlwind of life story here.
well, I know because it's like what I'm in the middle of, right? And it's like, oh, that's okay because it's going to happen. It is going to happen. But remember that if you're in the whirlwind of life, you do have to make a change so that you don't let the whirlwind, so you don't get caught up in the whirlwind, I guess I should say. You've got to be the strong part that the whirlwind can whip around, that you have got everything in place so that you are not whipped around with it. And I'm pretty sure, Paul, that that's like the most important thing that I've learned in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, best saying, where focus goes, energy flows. So if you're focused, and how many different things can we focus on right now? Like 100,000 different things. There's so many things to focus on. But if you stay focused on this story, this breakout, so the title of your journal is 2021 was my breakout year. So at the very top of the piece of paper, you write 2021 was my breakout year. You date it 12/31/21. And you're writing this story as if today is New Year's Eve. And how you feel on New Year's Eve, the joy, the excitement inside of you for achieving all of these things, and just like you're blown away by your success and the way everything has fallen into place. So your story might go something like this. Oh my God, it's New Year's Eve and I've never been this excited in my entire life. Now, the beginning of 2021 didn't actually go as planned. It went okay, but I went through some rough things. But then I stopped and I did this a few adjustments on July 1st, and the second half of my year absolutely exploded. I cannot believe how many new people have joined my team. I have now reached the rank of 3-star, and I am ecstatic about the potential that lies in front of me for the year 2022. Right now, because of all my success, me and my husband, we have decided to book a trip to Venice to celebrate all my success. And we're going to be on a gondola, and we're going to have a guy sing to us. And you got to find that music of or that song or whatever he's going to be singing to you. And it is going to be amazing. And we are going to drink champagne and stay up late and have a party. And it's going to be fantastic. And it just all the good feelings and whatever story it is for you, you have to be super creative in this story and think of like the craziest, awesome thing that you could feel and that has happened to you in the second half of this year. And just go all out. I mean, boom, just like think of awesome things that, whatever your business has exploded, how many new orders have come in, and just keep describing the way you feel. Like, I love that blank. I am so excited blank. So I'm always using feeling words throughout my story. And once if you can feel it, you are locked into it. Okay, so it's not just about writing some words, and it really isn't about a vision board. It's not about putting some pictures on a piece of paper. The vision board in this story is about the feeling you get when you read it. So this is what I did. I got into a super great state of mind and then read it and recorded it. So I'm recording it in that super peak state, super excited, like, blah, 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 and it turned out fantastic. So now when I listen to it at 5 a.m., when I may not be at the most peak state of my day, I'm listening to this and it's putting me back into that feeling instantaneously. So if you don't record it, I just and not just record it, but record it at a good time where you're at your like peak, so that you whenever you're not at your peak, you can listen to it and remind yourself of what your peak sounds like and the feeling you have where you get from listening to that recording. I mean, I've done this for 20 years and I just changed the recording because and I love 6 months because 6 months isn't like, I'm not asking you to describe your life 6 years from now. I understand that that's difficult for a lot of people to say, well, it's 6 years, I've gone by and this has all happened. So it's hard to do that. 6 months is not hard. New Year's is going to be here in like 1 second. I mean, I can't believe it's July 1st. Well, what the heck happened in the first half of 2021 here? So it's going to happen super fast, whether you do this or not. Doesn't matter. December 31st is still going to come. And the big statement, I know Becca loves this, Caroline loves this, Cheryl loves this, is that you either can live life by default and let New Year's Eve come by itself, or you can live it by design. You can live the second half of 2021 either by default and just let it happen.
I don't know. I just really got.
Create it. You want to say something, Cheryl?
Sorry, Paul. Nope. Go right ahead.
Okay, cool. So I know we had a couple people actually write their story. I know Becca has written her story and is dying to share it with all of us with her high emotion and where she's going to be on New Year's Eve. Do I have to give you permission to unmute?
We can't hear you, Becca.
How about now?
Okay.
Okay, let me find it.
She's new to this Zoom thing, so we just got to give her a little slack thing.
Yeah, I don't have the control I usually do, so I'm like lost. So my December 31st, 2021 breakthrough story. Okay. 2021 was a year of incredible growth. My team has developed 9 leaders who have met that 1-star qualified rank, taking their skills and passion to a whole new level. I have marveled at how they have stepped into their new life of acknowledging that they have value, worth that needs to be shared with the world. I believe in them, and some of them believed it too, just didn't know how to use it. Now they are pouring out into the lives of others on a daily basis and building up their communities with their belief in others. Not only has my team growth had a breakthrough, I am financially now debt-free. I have been able to pay off the credit card balances that grew as we had been living beyond the retirement check to retirement check rat race. My personal income from my business has more than compensated for the little amount that I had been receiving as a dependent. 2021 has brought me independence, and I am so blessed to see this happening in the lives of others that I have gathered in my circle. They too are claiming the 2021 breakthrough for themselves. Now for Christmas, I gave my family a trip that we can all enjoy together in January of 2022. The escape from the cold winter for a week together and celebrating each other is going to be fabulous.
Oh my God, that was so fantastic. Now, I love the way you worked in the Christmas thing. So you're gonna give everyone Christmas bulbs with the picture on it?
Yes, I loved that idea.
That is super cool. I expect to get a Christmas bulb with a picture on it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go on this trip. So what So the story was absolutely fantastic. The only thing I would suggest, and this is just for everyone to, when they're writing their story, and this is not going to seem natural to do this, but like after like almost every sentence or every statement that was like, my team did this, or my income hit this, or I am independent now, or whatever, you made a bunch of different statements in there. So what we learned is that it's not only what you focus on, but what meaning do you give to that? So we really want to train that subconscious mind of ours to say, my team just created 9 1-stars, and I have never been so excited my whole life, or felt so blessed in my whole life, or so I felt so it's all about emotion, like working in emotional words about what that meant to you. That meant the world to me. So we're defining, we're putting meaning behind what we just said. What does that mean though? Like, okay, great. So you're going on a trip. Like, what does that mean? Like, to some people that means I hate trips. It's the worst thing in the world to get an airplane. They're like terrified of it. So you want to really program your subconscious mind to attach massive pleasure to that event or that thing that just happened. So, I mean, we would normally never write each sentence and put this after. It may seem kind of odd because you've probably never done that before, but you have to go like above and beyond on this story to continue to put in at an obnoxious amount of times how you feel, and that made me feel, and this makes me feel so blank, whatever it is. So that was fantastic. Thank you, Becca. Let's go to Caroline, because I know she wrote a story too.
I did write a story. Can you hear me?
Yeah, she got like Cheryl. So Caroline took your app. And by the way, on my iPhone, it's called Motivation. So if those of you that have an iPhone, I'm not sure what it's on an Android, but it's called Motivation.
Get out.
Not only does Caroline probably have that app, but she's got a shirt that says Motivation. It just goes above and beyond here.
It is fantastic. Yes. I love motivation. Yes. All right. You ready to hear my story?
Yes, we're all anxious.
Okay. Well, now there's editing that needs to be involved now that you've given these extra little tips. But okay. So I am over the top that I have become a 4-star health coach. I have the first car in my name from becoming car qualified. I've developed a tremendous high achieving team of rocking 1-stars. I have exhilarating relationships that are fulfilling, and I have added value to hundreds of lives. I was able to attend some great training courses with Tony Robbins that showed me the power that I have inside of me. I began using neurotools and raised my standards to no longer tolerate the BS any longer. I was a grand champion winner in the Better Health Challenge, proving that I can do hard things and my body is able to do amazing things because I take great care of my body, mind, and spirit. My personal health and the health of my children have never been better. I was able to spend time with some of my closest friends live and in person. I figured out how thoughts are things, and I became crystal clear as to what exactly I want in life and how I want to live my life. I created a plan that will set me up for hitting 5-star in 2022, and the state of bliss that I have chosen to live in every day is the most exhilarating feeling I have ever experienced, and choose to feel this way every day.
Outstanding. That was freaking fantastic. So what I really loved is you said, you used words even before, like, so you said, I have these exhilarating relationships. So, you really use that adjective to not just, I got, I met some great people, no, exhilarating relationships is a whole other level. So you're looking for those kind of words like that. And same thing for you, Caroline, that I said to Becca, that just even after all of those statements to define how that made you feel, or that you feel so blessed, that you've, just did the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It's to change my whole life. Those kind of things that bring out feelings in this is key.
So can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So I didn't record it. I'm definitely going to record it, because you guys, my heart was pounding so hard, and like more as I was reading it, because I feel so like it's real.
Yeah.
And it's if you halfway do this, I don't even know. Like, you want to have your heart racing is all I can tell you, because it just feels so amazing.
Yeah. Now, does everyone see the vibe change, in Caroline? I mean, you can see that, just type in a yes if you can see the vibe change, but there's a huge vibe change when she reads that story. She vibrates differently, and she even said that she feels differently inside too. So that is the effect that this story will have on you. And it just does so much. I mean, it fixes the problem of what we're thinking about, what we're focusing on. It fixes the feeling like, how am I going to get into peak state? Well, just read the story. Or what am I going to do? Well, you don't need to worry about what you're going to do. Just go read the story you just wrote, because you just wrote it all in the story. So this one exercise like solves every problem in the universe. So that's how important this exercise is. It is everything to do this. And I don't know if Michelle's on here or not, Michelle Malcolm, but I was just talking with her earlier today. She just took a Bob Proctor seminar that, same thing. Bob Proctor's all about getting on that vibrational level. And the only reason you don't have things in your life is because you're not on that vibrational level right now. And you can see in Beck and Caroline that when they read these stories, their vibrational level changes and they start attracting new things into their life. So it's super important that you do this, that you record it, and that you listen to it every single day. And it'll get into you more and more and more and more, and bring out even more feelings, which will make you absolutely unstoppable. Super. Cheryl, you back on? I know you're jumping on your computer.
Hi there, I'm here.
There you are. Look at you.
Hi, those were so fantastic. Oh my gosh, those stories were just unbelievable. I mean, it almost brought tears to my eyes, because I'm like, I'm feeling the same way. And to see like the changes over the last little bit since I've really, I guess since the health coaching program, it's just unbelievable. It really is. It's super exciting. Super exciting.
Yeah, it was, and just hats off to Beck and Caroline for what they've done. And you can see the transformation that both of them have gone through. It's out of this world amazing. So, but it can happen to all of you. Like the same things that we do with Beck and Caroline, what same things that they do, you can do too. And you can change your entire future right now by taking this exercise super seriously. So I got a lot out of this. Maybe anybody else want to come on and raise their hand and say something that they got out of this, who did listen to Deb's recordings, maybe something that Cheryl or I missed that you thought was profound that you want to touch on. Becca has her hand up.
So on the four things that Deb mentions, and I lost it. I want people to really look at those and realize that you're probably doing more than you think you're doing, especially if you're on Facebook and you're reaching out and you're commenting on your friends' posts. I mean, that's number 2. You just need to do 1, 3, and 4. And that's really going to start the momentum in your business. You're already doing more than you think you are.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. But the key to that is that I see a lot of us. I mean, I'm doing this too. But I want to be on all of your pages as much as I can and see you in my thread and love your post and make a comment on it. And we should all be doing that to each other to have that boost. But the key is to intentionally go out and find people who are not in longevity to become friends with, to like, to comment on, and to a stranger, because it feels obviously comfortable to do with everybody in the coaching program here because we all love each other. So it's super easy to make a comment and a post on that. But it's going out there and doing it to strangers that we have all got to link massive pleasure to. Going out and helping new people, that's massive pleasure to me. Contributing to new people's lives every day, and so the whole elevate thing is in my blood. Don't want to elevate new people. So you got to focus on the people you have, of course, but you also have to get new people on the bus all the time. And that's what's going to make this thing crank. Anybody else got a comment that they want to make?
Caroline.
I do real quick.
Okay.
Just the one thing is when, of course, identifying where your people that are, or if you do have people getting off the bus, try and like see where that is. And if you are in the red zone, everyone's getting off the bus. So to, make sure you know where you are. And when you set the intention to stay in that green zone, that we're moving, I'm pouring into you, there's value being added, that they can't fall in love with you if you're not 100% engaged. So, to me, that was like, well, are you getting people in and everything and then dropping them like a rock? Or are you continuing to support and love on them and everything, even after you enroll them or wherever they are in the process? But it starts with you and what you're putting into it. So
yeah, well said. And I didn't even think about that, but when you're on a bus and you see the drivers in a red zone, I would find a way to hop off that bus as quickly as possible. And you never want to be on a bus with a driver in the red zone. So, but how many of us have a busload of people and we go into the red zone? So it's super important, as Caroline just said, to stay green, stay in that yes zone, because everyone's watching you all the time. And if they don't like your vibe, they're leaving. They're getting on a different bus. So always be conscious of that energy level that you're at and what zone you're in. So be in that yes zone. And I really, the thing that has grown for me over the months and years here now is to celebrate those small wins. Like, yes, I got a new friend on Facebook. Yes. And it's always that fist pump and that word yes. So when I say the word yes, guess what it makes me do? It makes me get into the yes zone because I'm saying the word yes. So, but it helps when you do something physically too, to anchor that feeling in. So if you continually to say yes, and I don't care how small of a task it is that you're able to check off today in any part of your life, not just longevity, but other things you're doing. The more times you can fist pump during the day and say yes, because I did something good. And what's happening is your subconscious mind is recognizing that you're doing this positive thing, and you're going to see yourself like your arm's going to get tired from doing all these fist bumps because you have done so many great things throughout the day. So let's go to Mona.
Hi.
Hello.
It's so great to see you guys. This is probably my second or third call. I probably wanted to ask a question, but I wanted to share something too.
Cool.
Question would be, this is just personal to me, but I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with this. I have difficulties posting. I actually don't like investing in social media time, but that I got to get out of that mindset. Like, my mindset is crystal clear as to what I want. I know who I am, the love, the confidence, the wanting to share, and being here with an open heart. I've got all of that in my bag, in my goodie bags. But when it comes to posting and when it comes to plugging in with other people, it is the most one thing, Becca knows this, I have such difficulty with, and this is what absolutely anybody who wants to coach me, please.
Yeah.
I am so coachable in that. And I want to be coached in that. But as far as like what I've heard from you guys so far, absolutely incredible. Just a feedback.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. So let's play a little bit here. So when you're getting ready to post, what negative feelings are you feeling, if you could describe it, when you're about to do this or thinking about doing it?
Negative feelings is just resistance. I think one thing is practice. I have noticed that. I think it's part of practice as well. The fact that I don't do it all the time and I'm not engaging has to do with that, but I feel resistance as far as
But
worthiness.
so to get a little more specific though, is it resistance because I'm afraid or I don't know what to put, or is there any more descriptive word you could use that the feeling you're having at that moment besides just, we know it's resistance, but it's, I feel a little afraid, like like someone's gonna read this and judge me, or I'm afraid I'm gonna say the wrong thing, or like Verna said, it's unfamiliar. So is there
Mhm.
anything that you could, if you really thought about it, any feeling that you
Fear of
specifically,
rejection.
fear of rejection? Okay, totally.
Yep.
The number one thing out there is
Yep.
that
Fear of
people,
rejection
yeah,
and intimacy.
yeah. So and this is all part of getting into the yes zone. So people wonder what comes first, the chicken or the egg, to where I make the post, then I feel good. Doesn't work that way. Like there's no way to happiness in the world. Happiness is the way. So it's getting into that peak yes zone and saying, like, you had so much to offer the world and you just need to say what's on your mind and what's in your heart. And the people that resonate with you are going to be with you. And you're going to get people that I could never get, Becca could never get, no one could ever get,
Mhm.
because you have a different vibe than anybody. We all have different vibes. There's people, when I make a post, I post about things. I'm a Marine, I'm this and that and that. I must turn off like a billion people with every post I make. But I'm okay with that because the people who resonate with what I put love me. Like they'll follow me to hell and back. So when we say attract your tribe is you, like who you are. You're so special. So don't be worried about, someone not liking you, because you don't want that person on your team anyways. They're not going to be someone you're going to gel with. They're different than you. So you're not trying to enroll the whole world. You're just trying to enroll your tribe. And your tribe is people just like you. So it's a feeling of being bold. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to tell the world what I feel, what I think, and make posts about my life. I'm going to share my life with people. And whoever that resonates with, awesome. I'm going to have a wonderful life because these people will be with me. The people that it doesn't resonate with, I didn't want them on my team anyways. So does that help at all?
Yeah, that does help. I have stepped away from Facebook posting for years now. Like if anybody goes on my Facebook, it's Mona Haas. If we're not friends, please befriend me from this team, because I've definitely been following longevity for a very long time.
Now, if
So
something negative happened in the past, like someone made a bad
no,
comment to you or told you,
nope,
so you're
none. I
making this
have
all up in your
positive
mind.
people. My tribe is the tribe that I have right now. Like the people I have in my life are powerful leaders, just as you guys are, literally on the other end of it. And I have that boundary that I am not willing to spend my time where I am not in a place of giving and not receiving from like the most potent place. I'm not willing to do that.
Mhm.
So I'm already there. It's just, I think that is one of the biggest component that it's keeping me stuck. And because and Facebook I use for only business purposes, but not my own business, because I haven't even started that step yet. I use it for other business purposes, coaching and connecting with like-minded people.
Mhm.
So it's just taking that step into just doing it and letting go of that fear of rejection. And I think that would be the key to it. Nothing
Yeah.
else.
Well, as Cheryl will tell you, awareness, and I have lots of stories I could share with you right now that I've just gone through recently myself. Awareness is everything. And Cheryl pointed this out to me. Once you're aware that I'm linking pain to this, and I shouldn't be, I really have no reason to be, you can change what you associate pleasure and pain to. So it's literally saying that, to yourself, I don't know why in the world you would associate pain to that. That's ridiculous. As a matter of fact, it should be the opposite. The pain is from not making the post. And I get massive pleasure from sharing myself, from being able to take what's inside of me and share that with the world, because one of your top needs in the whole world is to contribute. So this is a way I can contribute to the world, to millions of people at one time by making this post. So you're saying all these things that link massive pleasure to doing this. And the most painful thing in the world would be not doing that today. Like not doing that, you missed your opportunity to touch people's lives and to make an impact on them. So that's horrible. Super painful.
Totally. I totally receive. Thank you so much for that. I receive. And that is what I'm going to journal all that, write that down, and work on just shifting my mindset is already there, shifting the beliefs so that is how it is to share is where the pleasure is. The reason I feel the resistance is because of that pain that I'm associating with it. So
yeah, absolutely. And also, we didn't mention this today, but you want to be leading with absolute certainty. You're absolutely certain about yourself, who you are, what you believe in. So lead with that and don't be ashamed of that or anything. It's I am certain that this is this, that you need to be healthy, that you need to do this. So I have absolute certainty in everything I do, and that gains respect from people. They're like, well, this guy seems like he knows what he's talking about, so I'm going to follow him. So when you come out and give off that vibe of absolute certainty, and that's part of being in that yes zone, is I am absolutely certain blank. And whatever you put out after that, super important. So I literally sat down and I typed out 3 sheets of paper. I am absolutely certain blank. And I put all these lines in, all these things that I'm absolutely certain about. So when you lead with that and give out that vibe, you're going to have massive people follow you. So thank you so much for that, for coming on and sharing that and letting us all hear your challenges so that we can turn those challenges into celebrations.
yeah, thank you for shifting that for me too. And I want to be coached on this as I move forward. So
okay, awesome. Well, I'll give you a call and we can work one-on-one and I'll help you through that as well.
Paul, I wanted to
Thank
say
you.
something real quick
Yeah.
about this. So I think it's super important to remember too, and something that really helped me is to realize that the reason, because I kind of sound a lot like Mona there, and about that, I have the same exact challenge, right? And I think the interesting thing for me that I learned is that it has everything to do with the past and it has nothing to do with right now. So as soon as I realized that the reason I was having these fears and why I was having a hard time posting and all of that, it had everything to do with 5 years old, right? Me when I was 5 years old, when I started kindergarten, right? So, and when I realized that, like you said, the awareness, then I can fix the situation and then move forward into this whole changing the pain to pleasure thing, which I think is incredible. I mean, I think that is the key for all of us. So I just wanted to mention that. And I loved what Mona said. I think it's so fantastic that she's working on that and wants to, be coached on that. I love that.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on this call that feel the same way. So hopefully that helped a lot of people. But yeah, everything you link pleasure and pain to determines your identity. So we were talking about identity all day today. Your identity is formed by what you attach pain and pleasure to. So you got to be super intentional about what am I attaching pain and pleasure to, and that alone will change your whole life if you can change those associations. So, okay, we went a little bit over today. We're sorry about that, but I think it was super valuable. Again, thanks, Mona, for coming on. Thank you, Becca, for sharing. Thank you, Caroline, for sharing. And I hope this call was of great value to all of you and made an impact on your life. And we'd love to see your story. So it would be great if you wrote out the story and took a picture of it and posted it in the HCCC Facebook group, or better yet, made a recording. You could record this and then post it on YouTube or post it into the coaching group, and we could hear you and watch you tell your story, because reading it's one thing, but hearing it from you and the excitement in your voice is what's going to really move us and move you. So I can't encourage you enough to either make a recording on video or audio that you can post and really share how you feel about where you're going to be, where you are now that it's December 31st. All right,
and I love well, wait, Paul, I have one more thing. I think that it's fantastic that when Caroline read that, then her, she had like your heart beating fast, all of those things. So that's what Deb was saying, is that you want to do that and then listen to it so that you can get up into that green zone, like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Every time. So I love that.
Yep. And it will put you there every time you listen to it.
That's right. Thank
Awesome,
you guys.
awesome.
It was great. Thank you, Paul. That was awesome.
All right, let's unmute everybody and have everyone say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good day.
Care.
Thank
you, everyone, for
sharing.
Thanks a lot.
Great
Thank you.
Fantastic day.
Yes. God bless you all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Love y'all.